92.7 WOBM. Good morning. Shawn Michaels in with you. And, most of us already know that it can be hard to get the family to agree on after-school and lunchbox snacks, but there are fun and great-tasting options out there that the whole family is going to love. Joining us is registered dietitian Chris Moore to fill us in on how he chooses what snacks to prepare for his family. Chris, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. It's great to be here.
How you doing today? So this is a perfect interview. I mean, school's just getting underway. We're within the first week of school, but yet maybe moms and dads are already fighting with the kids over, snacking and, what goes in the lunchbox and all that good stuff.
Right. Yeah, certainly. And again, with two kids at home, we hear those same challenges ourselves. The key is planning ahead. So you have some things prepared, so you have some foods ready to go, and you can make quality decisions that are convenient in that kid's life. So, we want kids to be fun and taste great, but also balance out that nutrition as well.
What is snacking purposefully between meals? Describe what we're trying to attain there.
Yeah, such a great point. And that's when I talk about snacking, the key is snacking purposefully, meaning you're meaning to do it versus the mindless snacking so many of us often do. The purpose of a snack is really to kind of bridge the gap between meals. So, for example, with my daughter who eats lunch at 11 a.m., well, she's not going to eat dinner until 5 or 6 p.m. in the evening. That's a long gap between meals.
Yeah.
And sometimes she has after-school activity. So that's the idea of that snack is not to, again, fill you up as much as a meal, but just kind of curb that appetite, also give you some consistent energy to fuel whatever you're doing.
How do we fuel proper nutrition? Give us some ideas on how we go about doing that.
Yeah, certainly. So you want to combine some different nutrients. When we think about nutrition, we usually think about the foods we eat, but, of course, those foods then give you great nutrition. So, for example, I partnered with Mini Baby Bell Cheese. Those are great products for kids because, one, they taste great, and two, they're loaded with nutrition. Every flavor has at least 4 grams of protein and then some calcium as well, so it's a win-win there. Things like vegetables, certainly, and fruits certainly have lots of vitamins and minerals that we're all pretty familiar with. Things like nuts or pretzels, a lot of different options. Again, it's about that balance, and it's about planning ahead so you have these foods ready. Like carrots are great, but you have to peel them and cut them. Otherwise, it's going to be a barrier between you and eating them. So do that after you buy them at the store. Have them ready and visible in the refrigerator for you or for your kids to grab when they open it up and it's kind of staring them in the face.
Do you think that we're eating healthier these days when it comes to our snacking? I know that my kids, the other day my daughter, who's 19, she was going off to work and she's packing her lunch to take with her, and she's bringing like steamed vegetables and a little bit of rice or something like that with her. Much different than when we were growing up. I mean, when we were growing up, people were, it was cookies and chips and things. I think kids today, they're starting to get it, aren't they?
I think so. I think that awareness is there. People are certainly discussing the topic, and it's a lot more. There's a lot more talk about the quality of the nutrition that we eat and how we fuel our bodies. So, I love that your daughter brought rice and steamed vegetables. That's awesome. Again, she's a little bit older at 19, but even for young kids, making food fun is also a great way to help them engage them, but also make them or encourage them to eat a variety of quality foods.
Can you give us an idea of something fun to pack in the lunchbox that maybe would be a healthy snack for them at school tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely. I love the Mini Baby Bell cheese. It has that wax on that you peel off for kids, so that's kind of a fun little process. They're somewhat engaged and encouraged. Also, things like, you've probably heard of the ants on a log. You put a little peanut butter in a pretzel, put some raisins on it. It looks like ants on a log. Mm-hmm. So again, it's making kids fun, making foods fun for kids. The more fun it is, the more likely they are to eat it. Often we'll slice apples real thin, put peanut butter between them, make little apple sandwiches.
Now,
so anything like that, again, make it enjoyable for kids, but then also make sure you're giving them that quality nutrition is important.
Yeah, is peanut butter a good source of protein?
Peanut butter, yeah, absolutely. Nut butters in general are good sources of protein. A few grams per serving, so healthy fat, little protein. Again, it's a nice quality snack when you combine that with something as well, like apple or peanut butter or banana.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, the cheese is always good. That's a good source too, right?
Exactly, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, all the flavors have at least 4 grams per serving, so that's great to help balance out that energy. Remember, kids are now asked to sit and focus for 6, 7, 8 hours a day. they need that energy to stay alert and stay and kind of keep alive.
We're talking with Chris Moore, Ph.D. and a registered dietitian about snacking and doing it, on the right side of the food spectrum. Real quick as we wrap up, we're going on a trip, we're in the car, we're traveling, maybe we're going to the airport, taking a train, whatever the case might be. A couple of ideas when we're traveling for snacking.
Yeah, certainly. One of our go-tos is trail mix. We'll often make our own or have our kids make their own, kind of lay out the different ingredients we want in there. Things like nuts and some dried fruit, maybe even some coconut, maybe even a couple chocolate chips for a little extra, little kind of sweet treat with it in there. So that's always good because it's portable and it's convenient, and most kids are going to love that combination. Pretzels are great. The mini Baby Bell cheese can work well. So again, it's about making these things available. So that kids make those quality choices. If you're relying on rest areas and the other things that you find at convenience stores, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. So plan ahead, prepare, and you'll make better choices.
Well, we want to thank you for, spending some time with us because this is very important. We're just getting off to the brand new school year. Get off to a good lunchbox from the very beginning. It'll be a good school year for us. Chris, thanks for taking time and being with us today.
Sean, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right, there he is. Chris Moore, he's a registered dietitian, Ph.D., talking about healthy snacking and getting the proper protein and making, the snacks worth it and a worthwhile addition to your diet. So thanks, Chris, and a great school year to everybody. And, hey, some nice healthy snacks in those lunch boxes. It's always good for all of us with WOBM.